20th of January 2023. You guessed it, hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Talk to you a little bit today about used car prices. Have y'all seen these prices? I'm seeing vehicles with over 200,000 miles on them for anywhere from $10,000 up to $30,000 depending on what the vehicle is. A used truck, 250,000 miles, they're asking $18,000 to $25,000 in my area. What is going on with these used vehicle prices? And number one, who is paying these prices? If they're selling, that means banks are loaning that kind of money to get these loans on these vehicles, right? You go out, you stop, yesterday we decided to stop and look at used cars. She's wanting to kind of maybe get her a different vehicle or something. So we were looking at them and the mileage on them and the price. My mind can't compute like that. It's like, all right, 180,000, 220,000. 300,000 and none of them's under $10,000. I'm like, what is going on? Number one, if you buy a vehicle, a used one, as is where is, no warranty on them. Once you hit 100,000 to 150,000 miles, regardless of what manufacturer it is, you're going to have to start thinking about replacing suspension parts, possibly motor, definitely sensors and stuff on the motor. Transmissions start going out, around 150,000 miles. And people are paying this and just thinking they're getting these great deals. If you're my age, y'all know I'm 45, I remember growing up, you could spend $500, and get a decent car. And it was an older car, the ones made out of real metal, the good looking vehicles. You could pay $500 and get a good car and drive it around and it would last you forever. Nowadays, these cars that are coming out, they get totaled for the least little thing because how much it costs to fix them. Let's say you got a new car, like a newer one, let's say 2017 up to now. If you hit a deer or something with it, more than likely they're going to total that vehicle just because of the cost of the parts to fix it now. It's getting ridiculous. You're looking at vehicles that are nowhere worth what they're asking. Some people are going to say, well, it's caused the pandemic, you can't get new cars, there's chip shortages and all this. Then you stop and think, okay, why does a new four-wheel drive truck costing me $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $100,000? And y'all want all this stuff made in America, right? Does that give you an idea of what things will cost? That's the price of it with imported parts on it, or even assembled in another country. That's the price of that vehicle. Imagine what it would be if everything was made in America. I agree, everything should be made here. We should have, but you got to also stop and think. People don't make enough money to be able to pay for that stuff. And I've done a video on this too. Where in the hell are these people working that can afford these vehicles? $800,000 a month payments. And plus if you've got a mortgage and all that now. My area, I've told you, the average bring home pay, if you averaged up everybody in this county, maximum would be $12 an hour. It's more likely around $10 an hour. That's bring home pay. After your insurance, your taxes, anything like that's took out, that's your average pay. Most people bring home. Yes, you got people that make a lot more, but when you average it all out, that's about the average income. But yet, you see all these new vehicles on the road, and you're like, where in the hell are these people working, getting this kind of money? And you start thinking, well, they're living on credit. But to get back to the point of this video, used car prices is ridiculous. Now, if you have a car and you put it up for sale, let's say you had something you wanted to sell and you price it like that, people, oh, it ain't worth that, it's not this, it's not that. Your friends would tell you that, but yet they would go buy a car for themselves or their kid from a dealer, that the dealer knows nothing about this car because it's a trade-in or they bought it at an auction. But they'll pay that and more for it. Like if you had, let's say you had a 2015, let's just use a Nissan, what are the Altimas or something like that. Let's say you had one of them low mileage, you said, I want $7,500 for it. Oh, it's not worth it, I'm not paying that. They'll go to a car lot in that same vehicle with 180, 200,000 miles, that car lot will want $8,500 or $10,000, and they'll, oh yeah, I'll buy that. But that dealer knows nothing about that vehicle. You got to understand that a lot of these cars you're seeing are trade-ins. The used cars are 9 times out of 10 are bought at auction. The dealer will take a trade-in car and then just run it through the auction and get what they're asking for it. If you're doing a buy here, pay here type of car lot, usually whatever that down payment is that they're asking for you to start your buy here, pay here, that down payment covers what they paid for that vehicle at the auction. You know, me and you can't go to the auction. You got to have a dealer license to get to the auction. But guys, these used car prices are ridiculous. They're crazy, and people are paying it. They're paying it and thinking they're getting good deals. Guys, if you've got an older vehicle, I recommend. Most of y'all know I've got an old '68. You know, keep it up. Work on it. It's cheaper to fix them now than it is to go buy a new one. And the older you get in a vehicle, the easier it is to get parts for it. But especially when you're in the 60s and 70 models like I am. Guys, it's ridiculous. A lot of y'all know we spent a lot of money on getting her car fixed, and then we had that issue with the ball joint breaking, but they covered it, they fixed it, and everything like that. But guys, as long as we're willing to pay these high prices, things are going to keep going up. Everybody asks, well, what caused? It's not that the pandemic happened and there's a shortage on chips. It's not that. It's that we are willing to pay these prices that they're telling us that it costs. That's the problem. If everybody got together and said, well, we're not paying that, you know, used cars, we're not going over $2,000. You wouldn't see a used car for over $2,000. The problem is we're willing to pay it. We see it all the time. You know, that they're conditioned us to just accept the way things are, and that's the issue now here in America. We've talked about this. But guys, if you're searching for a vehicle right now, I would recommend buying one off somebody you know. Somebody like that, not one from a dealer or something like that, because I'm telling you, they have no knowledge of these vehicles at all. You know, most of them, like I said, over 90% of them are bought at an auction, and it's just usually whatever the down payment is covers the cost of the vehicles they paid for. So guys, be smart out there if you're looking for a used vehicle. If you got an older one, you're thinking about trading it in or getting rid of it or something, you know, you might want to look into maybe just keeping it and working on it and fixing it up. May come out cheaper in the long run for you. Stay safe out there, get prepped up, keep your head on a swivel, be aware of your surroundings at all times, protect yourself and your family at all times. You're not safe anywhere in the world anymore. If you're still watching, hit that subscribe button. Comment on this. I want to know what used vehicles are in your area. What's the average used vehicle cost is. Ours around here is 8 to 10 with over 200,000 miles. That's another thing. Let me know the mileage that you're seeing on these vehicles for at prices. Stay safe, get prepped up, and hit that subscribe button.